Hey girl, hey. This is Dr. Tasha, and I am back with a Monday medical moment. Okay, but this is gonna be a fun one, y'all. This is gonna be a fun one. Okay. So, if you don't know, yes, I'm doing a retreat. On the first day of the retreat, kind of like an icebreaker, just hey, how you doing? Who are you? We do a male versus female panel. And they're questions, like good questions, like who cheats better, men or women. Like it's just stuff that's going to spark debate, right? And we have one side for males, one side for females, and then we just chop it all up. So on the way down to that hot ass food festival in Colombia this weekend, we were talking about some of the questions, and we were trying to put together some questions that would be very, very intriguing and grabbing. And so we came up with so much stuff that we were talking about. So we were talking about relationship stuff and love stuff and stuff, right? And so we were talking about sex stuff, just everything, right? And so then I was like, you know what? On Monday, I'm going to talk about snatching somebody's soul. Like everybody wants to be that girl or that dude in the bedroom. Like everybody wants to be remembered. But when you talk to males, and I'm so glad I got the male perspective this weekend that I could bring it to y'all. When you talk to males, they have one perspective on what they feel is being snatched. And then when you talk to us, we have another perspective on what we feel is being snatched, and they don't really mesh well. And then I was going to do another show on like strippers and what is happening at the strip club that could be happening at the house, because they could bring that money to the house. They ain't got, shout out to the strippers. I ain't hating on y'all bread, but I'm just saying for the ladies who don't mind doing a little strange for that change. What is happening at the strip club that's not happening at the house that, you wouldn't mind happening at the house. And I got that perspective too. So before we kind of get into how do you snatch somebody's soul? How do you make that person be like, well, damn, just think about you all the time. Just wanting to see, Now, some people you might not want that from. And if you don't want that from that person, don't try to see if it'll work. Just don't even try. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. If you don't want to have that type of relationship with a person that you snatching souls and all that, just don't. Just don't. I promise you, just don't. So, first, a little bit of housekeeping stuff first and foremost. Y'all know how I am. I am emphatic about testing. When you're in a sexual relationship with anybody, I don't care who it is, your husband, your boyfriend, your side joint, a jump off, a situationship, a relationship, it does not matter. Y'all should be getting tested on a regular basis. Unprotected sex, I say every 6 months to a year, okay? But the longest is going to be a year. For anybody who's on PrEP, which is HIV prevention, which I recommend for everybody. I don't believe in high risk versus low risk. If you're having sex with a human being, you're high risk. You don't know what the other person is doing. You might think you know. You might think you can attest to what the other person is doing. But if you're not with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you don't know what they're doing, baby. They will find time. Trust me, they will find the time. Okay? So I'm in a monogamous, you're in a monogamous relationship, you're not having sex with anybody else, but please don't speak for anybody else. Don't speak for your partner. Just don't. Now, one thing about this over here, this is a no judgment zone, okay? We don't judge. We do hold accountable, but we don't judge, okay? So I don't care what kind of relationship you have, open relationship, whatever, just please be safe. Be safe. If you're PrEP, if you're in a situation where you can't ask your partner to wear condoms, PrEP, okay? PrEP, I'm a PrEP, period, all over the place. Yes, ma'am. Get that shot every 2 months. And every time you come in, you get tested for HIV. You get your shot, you go about your business. Anybody got about no pills, none of all that. I'm an apritude kind of provider girly. I'll be like, so you want some apritude? What's up? But anyway, so making sure that y'all are tested and all that kind of stuff. But first and foremost, let's talk about making sure about what kind of relationship you're in. I think that, and we had a conversation about this, there's not enough communication in relationships. Like, you have to be open and honest. And this is for guys too. This conversation is not just for women. This is for guys too. You need to be straight up and say, hey, listen, I don't really want nothing other than something physical right now. If I'm hungry, I might invite you to dinner. But for the most part, I'm going to call you to smash. And you need to be open and honest with that, male or female, and then let the other person decide whether that's something they want to deal with or not. Because you have a lot of women out here, because it's usually one-sided. No, you have a lot of women who are like, I'm in a relationship, I love my boo, but he has erectile dysfunction, he can't do this, he can't do that, so I'm gonna need to smash. But please don't call me. Don't call me on a regular basis. Definitely don't call me after 7. Don't call. So what you looking for may be out there, but communicate. When we don't communicate, that's when stuff gets all confused, people get hurt, and then it's situations, right? So one of the questions that came up when we were in the car before we start the snatch your soul thing, an associate of mine said, what is the situation, or what would you feel if you were at a dude's house or a girl's house and their ex came through, and the ex is like, open the door, open the door, open the door, and they won't open the door for the ex. They will either excuse themselves and go outside and talk to the ex. In this instance, went outside, talked to the ex for like 20 minutes, came back, and then he had nothing to say. Like, he just sat there like, what? But the gag is the same thing that happened at her house a couple weeks before that or something like that with her ex. So she felt like she was apologetic and that was enough. She felt the type of way because he wasn't apologetic. He just sat there like, whatever. I was like, both of y'all need Jesus. Because at the end of the day, I feel like she was like, well, no, neither one of us. No, stop lying to yourself. If he outside for 20 minutes, he trying to calm down somebody's feelings. If he trying to calm down sis' feelings, that means it's something still between them. Some way, somehow, he done smashed recently, something. If it's somebody who you ain't smashed, you ain't messing with, I'll be like, listen, please don't knock on my door. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to go away, but then I'm going to call 911. So you on the right street or you going home? It's your choice. That's how it is. But if this is somebody I'm messing with, then I'm going to be a little bit concerned about their feelings, right? So, and we kind of had that debate back and forth. She's like, no, it's nothing like that. No, it's something like that. What you mean? So, and it was just a whole situation that went back and forth. So it's very important that y'all communicate and you understand who you want to be in these relationships. Make sure you're getting tested and make sure you who you want to be. Don't be trying to be out there like, yeah, he want me like that, and he might be crazy. And then now you don't answer that phone. You don't want nothing to do with him. You done moved on. You done got back with bae, and now he coming for you. So be careful with people's feelings. Be careful with people's emotions, right? And so you have to also figure out, first of all, if this is somebody that you want to be with and this is somebody who wants to be with you, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I said, whatever kind of situation you trying to have, just be clear about that and make sure you're on the same page. One thing that I think a lot of people just don't get is you cannot change people and you cannot change people's minds. A lot of women and men will take what they can get. Like, oh, I don't want to be with you. Okay. And then in your mind, you like, yeah, but once he gets to know me, he going to want to be with me. Once we smash, he going to want to be with me. You cannot change what they say it is what it is. And that's how you got to do. You cannot change people. People have to change themselves. You absolutely cannot. People are like, well, another question came up. Well, what if they act like they're in a relationship with you? They do this, but they say they don't want to be in a relationship with you. Okay, you said you didn't want to be in a relationship. To me, that leaves an open door. So if I see you out with somebody or I see you kicking it with somebody or this, that, and the third, or look like you cheating, what you going to say? I told you I didn't want to be in a relationship. No, you can't act like you want to be in a relationship, but tell me you don't want to be in a relationship. No. That's just having your cake and eating it too. We're not doing that either. So it was so much of this stuff that it came up. But when we started talking about sex, it kind of became, well, that's why everybody get their body done. And I was like, I don't know about that. What do y'all think about that? Comment below if you feel like people are getting their bodies done because they want to be snatching people's souls in the bedroom, because I don't necessarily think that attributes to it. So let's talk about that. And from a male perspective and a female perspective. Now, let me give y'all, so I was talking to somebody who dances. She's a stripper. Very nice person. That's my girl. She's a stripper. And so I wanted to know from her, I was like, so from a woman's perspective, let's say you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, you're in a whatever, and your partner goes to the strip club. And it's like, you can't be mad, but you kind of mad, low key, but you can't really be mad. You ain't mad because they gone, but you dropping $300, $400, $500 at the strip club. You can drop that at the house. What they doing in the strip club? Because I can dance, I got a pole, I can twerk. But that's not what's happening. So I asked her, I was like, well, what are you seeing? What is it that happens at the strip club? Because I guess from, I don't go to strip club, but I guess from that perspective, you think that your man is there paying for sex, right? No. So she was saying it depends on the type of time of day they go. What, sis? So she was like, during the daytime, the guys that come during the daytime, they want to talk about their family. They want to talk about their job. They want to talk about themselves. They want to talk. And they pay you to dance or do lap dances, whatever, but they're talking. They want to be heard. They want to talk. Okay, so mind blown. Because really? And then she was like, the guys that go at night, because I was like, oh, they the ones that be wanting to, booty pop. She's like, no, they are about visual. They want something, they always comment on how you smell. They like women who smell good, who look good, who have taken pride in themselves. They'll say, oh, your hair looks real nice. Your hair looks real neat. I like your nails. You smell good. They're very complimentary. They look at the feminine aspect of these women. Now, this is what she said, okay? I'm not saying this is Bible. This is what she said. I'm just giving y'all what I got, okay? And, a lot of guys ain't going to admit to, they're going to say some craziness and get off topic and get all defensive. But this is what she said. So she was like, they want something pretty to look at, to smell, to touch, whatever the case may be. They never really get out of line. She said, now, it's a small population of men who will be like, you smashing? And they be like, no, she is. They get a girl, $800-900, whatever it is the girl might charge. And then they leave together. And then she comes back and finishes dancing or whatever the case may be. To her sentiment is that is a very small minority of people. That is a very small portion of people. Normally, it is the overwhelming is wanting to just be lavished and touched and, whatever, by somebody who is pretty or, whatever the case may be. Something to look at, eye candy, I guess, in a way, which is real interesting. Because too, let's not necessarily throw that out the window, because a lot of times when we're in situations, we get so busy, we're in Jack and Jill, we doing this, we remember this, we running these kids here, there, everywhere. We all know that the average person is a little bit selfish. Not all of them, but the average person is a little bit selfish, especially males. I'm just saying. And so we get a little too busy. The stuff that we used to listen to, like, babe, how was your day? Babe, that we used to listen to when we was early in a relationship. Babe, we got too much to do. We got to cook this. We got to wash these clothes. We got to cook these food. We got to pay attention to these kids. Then you want to bust down too. Then we got to do PTA stuff. Then we got a child in my line. Sisters calling me. Girl, all the stuff, right? So, yeah. And then sometimes, again, we get into that busy mode, and not even just for our partners, for us, grooming becomes like a second, like a backseat thing, and it can't. Your hair ain't done. If it ain't done, that's fine. Wash it, slick it back. Put some curly stuff in it. Put a little, cute little wig on. You don't have to be perfect all the time, but even for yourself, when you look better, you feel better, right? And for males too, get a lineup. Get a lineup. If you can't afford it, your money is funny. Baby, go to YouTube. Spend $20 on some clippers, however much they cost. Go to YouTube and learn how to line yourself up. Be neat. Brush your teeth. Make sure your skin is clean. All of these things, nobody, and I hate to say it, but you got to see it from a perspective. Somebody's been out in the streets all day. They might be seeing this woman who was at work, all the things, right? And then they come home, child, your hair all over your hair, your lace front slip back, is lifting. You ain't got the little tie thing on there. It's lifting up, child. You patting. The little synthetic thing is all matted. You be seeing them people with the matted wig. You ain't got no bra on, titties just a swinging everywhere, oil stains all on your t-shirt. It's like, girl, that's a lot. And even for males, honey, what pick that. You want to have an afro, but it look all crazy. You got a beard that look all nappy. You ain't combed. What is happening? And so, visual is important to all of us, right? Because even in, you know, you looking at the gram, you looking at TV, you don't know these people, you're like, well, he fine. He could be the most horrible person in the world. But what are you seeing? You're seeing his physical attributes. So I think that, you know, what I heard was that is a big thing, and smell as well. Men love a good smelling woman. You don't have to necessarily spend a lot of money on perfume. You can go somewhere and find a signature fragrance or a body mist or something, but, you know, just smell appealing, because again, aromatherapy, smell is a thing, right? So as far as figuring out, one, the communication and where y'all stand with each other. Two, also knowing what people like, you know, some guys will be like, I love when a woman has on my t-shirt. Some guys are like, I love when a woman wears lingerie. Some guys won't be like, child, be naked. That's okay. Figuring out what your partner really enjoys and expressing yourself too, like, because it's not a one-way street. It's like, yeah, I will accept that. I will look like something, but I want you to be groomed too. Don't come in here, you know, and be like, you know, ready to do whatever, and your drawers look linty and mothbally and you sweaty and So that's the thing, appearance, and just, you know, basically kind of understanding what the expectations are and what the desires are for your partner. No, nobody is going to have a perfect day all the time. Nobody is child, this is your house and that is your man or that is your woman. You gonna walk in and their hair gonna be busted sometime. Okay, you gonna walk in and they look a mess. Okay, fine. But child, y'all, don't let that be the norm. Don't let that be the absolute norm. Okay. So that was the thing. Now, another thing was restrictions. We grown, and you should be grown. If you're watching this video, please be over 18. If you're not, please stop it immediately and go watch something else. Now, we're all grown, okay? And so the biggest thing I think and again, I'm so glad we had this conversation. Again, the biggest thing I heard from males as well as other females are restrictions. Because I think a lot of men will be like, no, I ain't gonna do no oral on her. I ain't going down on her. That ain't my girl. And then a lot of women feel the same thing. I'm not giving a blowjob. I'm not doing that. That's not my man, you know. But restrictions are a thing. Because again, when I said to my stripper associate, who was like, okay, so and I tell her, I was like, I don't want to sound old or prudish. What's new in sex? What's people doing now? I know everybody want to one up the next person. Everybody want to one up the next person to be like, oh wow, make her child. Let me tell you something. The sun ain't never shine. Like people used to say, you can have diamond dust sprinkled down the crack of your behind. If he don't like you, he don't like you. Okay, so that's the first thing. But keeping things interesting and not having restrictions. Open your mind. Like if you have in your mind, I'm not doing that, that's nasty, you kind of already lost the battle, because you shouldn't feel like that with a person that you're with or that you're having sex with necessarily. Open your mind. See what that person wants to explore. If it's truly beyond something that you're comfortable with, be honest with that. Say, hey, listen, I'm not really comfortable with that. You know, let's try something else, you know, but I ain't really comfortable with that, and be okay saying that. But go in with an open mind. Be ready to bust down and be like, okay, well, this is my partner. This is who I'm busting down with. Let's do whatever. Okay. And I think that's what people are necessarily looking for. My stripper friend, what she say, which is not new. It thought it was funny because she's in her 20s. This is not new. It's not new by any stretch of the imagination. Any grown woman on here, she's like, yeah, you know, people are eating butt now. That's not new. But at the same time, I really implore y'all, because we're going to have the infectious disease doctor on here talking to y'all about some stuff. But, you know, make sure if that's something you're going to do, make sure that person is fresh out the shower. Okay, fresh out the shower. Okay, that you can stay getting there scrubbing. And if you got the scrub form, male and female. Okay, because that ain't nothing to play with. That's some real bacteria back there. So if you butt munching, that's your business. Why not? That's what you into. It is what it is. Okay. Now, another thing that, you know, stays on the radar is anal sex. And I think a lot of people are afraid to admit that they either experience it, enjoy it, or whatever the case may be. And I don't know why. I think sometimes, even from what I hear, is that males are like, if your partner wants to do it, cool, that's not a big deal. But if that's all your partner wants to do, if that's 80 to 90% of what your partner wants to do, that's a little bit of a red flag. But if it's something that y'all do every now and again, cool. Y'all are grown, right? Now, I do have a recommendation. Since we're going to start with the anal, baby, I got a recommendation. Her right here. Her right here. This here wet kitty. Can you see it? This here wet kitty. Okay. Y'all see me talk about it all the time. If you my patient, honey, I carry it at the office. That's how serious I am about that wet kitty. This lube right here, this is a lube. Okay. It's odorless, colorless, tasteless. Okay. It does not get dry or sticky. It mimics the vaginal fluid. It does not cause yeast, irritation, vaginitis, none of it, okay? Now this, it's on a dropper, okay? And if you can see the consistency, and it's on a dropper. You can slide that inside the vagina and then squeeze as you pull down. You can put in 1, 2, however many you want. You can put it in the booty. You can put it everywhere you want. But that right there is snatching souls. Now, I recommend that you don't say nothing. I recommend you let that male think that that's all him. Okay? Oh, child, you was that excited to see me. I sure was. I sure was. But that wet kitty right there, baby, that's going to get you a new car. That's going to get you a few months rent paid, a little mortgage paid. That's going to get you in a happy little shopping situation. That wet kitty is not to be played with, okay? I think the website is officiallypleasured.com or something like that, or Instagram is like officiallypleasuredxoxo, whatever. But if you put in wet kitty, it should come up. But this is what it looks like. I do sell it in my office. And it's an all-around great thing to have, because sometimes women are like, child, I don't feel like this tonight. It's gonna take forever to get wet. My perimenopausal girls, and y'all not on pellets, because if you on pellets, you already know. But if you're not doing pellets, you don't want to do pellets. Pellets are contraindicated for whatever reason. You're a cancer patient and you just feel comfortable you don't feel comfortable with any hormone. That's cool, sis. That's cool, because you're like, oh, the dry vagina. This right here should get you right. Wet kitty, okay? So I am for that. My perimenopausal sisters, baby, don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about nothing. Put that wet kitty in there. Even if you are taking the pellets, you want a little extra parumpa pump, baby, put that thing in there. Don't worry about it, okay? So yes, having no restrictions, and then being comfortable with intercourse. Obviously, if you feel like you got an odor, let me tell y'all something. You have heard me say it before, but I say it all over the place. And for those who are just tuning in and don't know this, your clitoris does not pay attention to the activity that is happening to it. Only a little bit. Your clitoris listens to your subconscious mind. Right? So people are like, I get wet, but I can't stay wet, because you're not in the moment. You're thinking about them dishes that got to get done, that clothes that got to get ironed. You got to check on that baby homework. You got lesson plans to do for the job. You forgot to send that email. He ain't paid no bills. You don't really want to give him none anyway. He been liking everybody pictures up on Instagram. Now you want to come and lay up with me. Your brain and your clitoris are very subconscious mind. That clitoris is very well connected, and she will dry up right quick. Macaroni and cheese where? She will dry up right quick. So sometimes if that's a situation, or ladies, we perimenopausal and it's, you taking you forever to get wet and all this kind of stuff, just put that in there. You don't have to worry about it. It's going to do what it do, and you be good. And so you won't have any, issues, side effects, whatever the case may be. I highly recommend it for my patients, because y'all know I'm a gangster with this vaginitis. I don't play about it. But this right here, you'll be okay, and it won't cause any vaginitis, okay? So I am big on that. But at the end of the day, guys, when it comes to snatching somebody's soul, first of all, you got to make sure you want to snatch this person's soul, because baby, people out there, okay? So you got to make sure this is somebody who you really want to snatch their soul, and that they want their soul snatched. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what you do. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what kind of cartwheels you do. I don't care what kind of full splits you know how to do, and all the things, okay? The reality is, if somebody does not feel that particular type of way about you, sex is not going to make them feel that way about you. and it's okay. That's just not your person. If we spent less time trying to make somebody who's not our person want us in a way that they don't want us, we'll be so less stressed out rather than just moving on and finding your person. Because yeah, it's okay. So that's first and foremost part of it. Does this person want to be snatched? Will they want their soul snatched? And then let the inhibitions go. If you feel like, oh, I can't do that because of this, I can't do that because of that, baby, no. You're grown. Okay, grow up. Okay. If this is the right person, and I keep saying if this is the right person, it don't have to be your forever person. If in your mind this is the person who you like, you're enjoying right now, you are in whatever kind of relationship right now, and this is serving you right now, then this is the person. Okay, I ain't saying it got to be your Boaz. That ain't my business. All right, but at the end of the day, open your mind. Open your mind and say to what you like, what you into, like, you know, what's the biggest freakiest thing you ever did? Like, tell me. Let's see what we can play around with together. Let's see what we can do together. And be okay with that. And don't be like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Grow up. If it's something you don't want to do, just be like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. But let's compromise on something else. Let's do something else. Anything else on your spirit? Because that right there is a full no-go. Anything else on your spirit, sugar? And have fun. Have fun. It's not, you know, a death sentence or a life sentence, or have fun. Okay. But again, you know, it becomes difficult. Like I said, I have a whole population of young people who are like, I want to be the latest, the greatest, the best. I want to do the craziest stuff. As long as you're being safe, as long as you're protecting yourself, have fun. Enjoy yourself. To my Perry women who are getting a second win, they like, honey, I'm about to come off the porch. I'm outside and I'm coming off the porch. Either my husband is, you know, no more, we're divorced, my kids are out the house, honey, I'm coming outside. Yeah, so open your mind and keep an open mind. But again, be safe, ladies. And, you know, it'll take a little bit of time to get your deuce and a quarter cranked up. This wet kitty, that'll facilitate you, okay? So you won't be like, damn, I've been on this for 25 minutes. You still ain't wet? Yeah, the wet kitty, okay? So most importantly, you know, I want ladies to understand, and we're going to get to men in a minute but I want ladies to understand that sex is for you. Sex is, I mean, yes, it's for your partner and but when you go into it, sex is for you, and you need to understand what you enjoy, what you like, be able to express that, so that you can have an enjoyable time and you can love what it is that you're doing. And I think that creates so much more of an enriched like relationship, because the reality of the situation is that you like, you know, he cool, he nice and everything, he all right, but the bust down is the bust down. And that's okay sometimes. And just like males will be like, she cool, no, she a cool chick and everything. She got it going on for herself. I ain't really into no relationships or nothing like that. But the sex is popping. It's okay. Like, that's okay. Everybody ain't gotta be everybody else's Boaz. But at the end of the day, what is going to make the best sex and snatching somebody's soul is, one, do their soul want to be snatched? And two, you walk in with confidence. Let me tell you something. And this is not, I'm not shading anybody. I'm not trying to be smart. I'm being dead ass about my observations. And delivering babies for 21 years. Do you know that it did not matter what the person looked like? Like, I could have somebody who was overweight, no teeth, crazy hair, bad teeth, smell bad. That baby daddy right there with her. That baby daddy right pulling out chairs. Hey, sit here, babe. Right there with her. The prettiest ones that look like models, that, have the nicest stuff. Baby daddy never came to an appointment with them. And again, that's not shading anybody, and that's not saying he could have been working. He could have a schedule that, whatever. She could be like, no, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, please don't think that your physical appearance, good or bad, is going to determine how somebody treats you or how somebody feels about you. If they like you, they like you. So don't be like, oh, he couldn't possibly like me, I'm so big. Or he couldn't possibly like me, I'm too skinny, I ain't got no booty. Or, my nose is too big, baby. What is seen on the outside is what's on the inside, and that comes through. So have you ever seen somebody who wasn't the best looking person in the world, but they had the best personality? Everybody loved them. She never had a hard time getting a man. The man gave her what she want, the whole 9 yards, because it's the confidence and the strength from inside that's exuberated outside. And all of that stuff, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. That's why I tell people, if you have personal reasons for wanting to do different plastic surgeries or BBLs or whatever, then do it, sis. Do it. Nobody is judging you over here. But if you're doing it because you think it's going to make you more appealing to somebody else, you're not even doing it for you. You're doing it for somebody else's appeal. Baby, if they don't want you with a big booty, they ain't finna want you with a small booty. I mean, they don't want you with a small booty. They ain't finna want you with a big booty. It ain't your booty. Okay, so at the end of the day, I hope this blessed somebody. I hope y'all are like, let me open my mind, child. Let me, 1, make sure I'm getting tested. Let me, 2, protect myself. And then let me, 3, be honest and open about what I want. And then let me come on off the porch. Some of y'all outside, y'all ain't off the porch. Come on off the porch, sis. Be open. But like I said, once you got your wet kitty, that's going to make everything more comfortable. It will make open your ears. And just, you know, I just feel right now that, and I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing. I just feel like, you know, people in general don't take as much pride in their appearance as they used to back in the day. And I'm not talking lashes and lace fronts and nails. That's not your appearance. That's not your appearance. That's the accessories. To me, it hides stuff. But do you? That's the accessories. But it's like, you know, cleansing yourself and making sure your skin is clean and making sure you're neat. Like, you know, back in the day, it was always somebody who she ain't had the flyest clothes, but they was clean and they was pressed to a T. Y'all remember them dudes back in the day with them pleats and them jeans, baby? Baby, that's that heavy duty spray starts bleach. But it was their appearance. They were clean. They smelled good. Like you walk past and be like, oh, you smell good. They had on a t-shirt and some jeans. But it's just the overall grooming. The overall grooming makes all the difference in the world. And I really feel like we need to kind of get back to that as women and men. But at the end of the day, please don't think that snatching somebody's soul is as much physical as you think it is, because it's not. It's understanding them, understanding what they like. Is that the person who you really want to be in something with, and walking in confidence, walking in that room, baby, with knowing that that Cuda Puff is snapping, it's clean, it's fresh, and macaroni and cheese is on the way. And that will give you a certain confidence to act a certain way. And he's like, wow, I like this type of chick. So it's really not necessarily about one aspect. It's multifactorial. So I hope this helped. This is the kind of stuff we're going to be talking about on Friday at the retreat. I'm so excited. And I mean, like I said, I can't give y'all the questions because that would be unfair. Because, you know, the panelists, that's the first time they're going to be hearing the questions, and we going in. If you haven't decided to get your tickets to the retreat, what you waiting for? What you waiting for? The link is in the bio. Please, I don't know, somebody done went to the hotel and booked the dang on hotel. Your hotel room tickets are included in the retreat tickets. It's all inclusive. Now, if you want to buy extra rooms, that's on you. Okay, but it's all inclusive. Okay, so the link is in the bio here on YouTube, also on Instagram, and their sponsorship. So if you can't make it, or if you've come and you want to sponsor some other young ladies, that is a possibility as well. So I hope you guys got something out of Medical Monday. Please drop some comments. I need to see these comments, and y'all need to stop this video right here and like it, because y'all be all wrapped up in the video and you be forgetting to like it. So like the video, drop the comments, because I do go in the comments and I do respond, and I want to see how y'all are thinking and what y'all are saying. So I hope this was a good one, and I'll see y'all back on Thursday. Bye.